Hello students, this is a class for BA Part 2nd English Literature students, and we will be talking about the essay on the pleasures of no longer being very young. The essay is written by G.K. Chesterton, and we will be doing a critical summary of the essay today. Uh, G.K. Chesterton is a 20th century writer, and he, although he is essentially a journalist, but he has written almost everything. He is a poet, he is an essayist, he is a dramatist, he writes short stories, he writes on criticism, and he has even used to write history. He has used his pen to write history. And in this manner, Chesterton is actually a minded genius. Chesterton's style has wit, humor, vitality, insight, imagination, and power of giving. You can say a critic has used this phrase cosmic importance to trifle. Means वो छोटी सी चीज को बहुत बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंस भी देना जानता है बिकॉज ही हैज सच फ्लारी लैंग्वेज. His works reveal an intellectual energy, and he can present his things in a very uh, lucid manner. This particular essay on the pleasures of no longer being very young is taken from his collection of essays. The title of this essay is All is Girs, 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 right? So let us talk about the essay. Actually, this essay is a plea for the calm consideration of traditional wisdom. He talks about young people, and he says the impatient and idealistic young men of modern times dismiss the knowledge that has been handed down to us from generation to generation. They consider that this knowledge is actually superstition. They regard the material progress of the modern times as important, and they think that our ancestors lived a miserable, unhappy kind of life. But this is not so. If we come to the summary of the essay, we can say the author begins in a very interesting manner. He says that the advantages of being in old age are not generally properly understood. They are stated in a sentimental manner. For example, generally it is told that old people are very white. They have beautiful white beard like that of Father Christmas. The young people see no good in these. These kinds of sentimental talks are of no use to young people. They fail to believe that what the old men say is full of wisdom. They don't believe this. So they grow doubtful about the praise that is given to older people. The result is that they fail to see the real advantage of maturity. The when they are truly urged, they sound like an almost comic contradiction to these young people. One of the most important advantages of advancing years is that we begin to see significance in a large number of traditions, institutions, maxims, and code of manners that seem in our first age, in our younger days, to be dead. The traditions become, you can say, lively when we grow old. The institutions, like marriage is an institution. The maxims means the proverbial sentences that we use, they become very, you can say, useful, that they become real to them. Young people regard traditions and customs as absurd. They believe that they are dead, that they want to do something new. But the author regards this wrong. He says the advantages of advancing years lies in discovering that traditions are true and therefore they are alive. Indeed, a tradition is not even traditional if it were not alive. Right? The proverbs that have been handed down to us traditionally have great truth in them. They are true, they are practical. In old days, we begin to see the truth in them. It is unfortunate that we fail to see the great truths that history teaches us. The writer says, we had been told that the Roman Empire declined or that the Spanish Empire disintegrated, but no German ever really applied it to German Empire and no Briton to the British Empire. The very repetition of these truths will sound like the old interminable repetitions of the truisms. And yet, they are, to the author at this moment, like amazing and startling discoveries, for I have lived to see the dead proverbs come alive. Chesterton regards that this truth can be understood only by the older people because they are experienced, they are mature, they have seen things in their life. That is why they start believing in them. In words which appear paradoxical, the author writes, the thing was a dead maxim when we are alive with youth. It becomes a living maxim when we are near to death. Even as we are dying, the whole world is coming to life. It is true, though it looks strange and paradoxical, that it is not the young people who realize the new world. The moderns do not realize modernity. Perhaps it is because they have never known anything else. The, the old people do feel sharply and clearly that the times which are beginning, for they are there before it began. In Chesterton's words, I quote, it is one of the artistic advantages of the aged that they do see the new things relived sharply against a background of their sharp, definite, the shape that is definite and distinct. To the young, these new things are often themselves the background. The new things are not new for them because they are living them. They are living in this background only and they hardly see at all. Chesterton concludes the essay with one very interesting observation. He remembers that when he was young, people scoffed at the idea of the existence of ghosts and spirits. The person emphatically denied the possibility of the village ghost. Educated people firmly believed that the dead do not return in the world of sense. But now we find scientists beginning to believe in spiritualism with all seriousness. And in this manner, the author closes his essay. Thank you very much. And if you have any queries on this essay, you can write your queries to me on WhatsApp. You can call me. Thank you.